Hello everyone, Men for Collectibles here doing our national recap video. So we were in Cleveland Thursday through Saturday, attended all the trade nights. We showed up Thursday morning, drove in from Pittsburgh. We went to the Pirates game on Wednesday and drove in, picked my brother up at the airport in the morning, and then made our way into the national Thursday morning. So go over a little recap. Bought a bunch, spent over 20 grand, sold a bunch as well. So bought some big collections, as you can kind of see here in the photo. Also sold a ton at trade nights. So the trade nights were very successful. Was pleased they had those. Helped me really sell some cards and recoup some cash. And then I'll go through the big deal I made on Saturday. Wasn't really expecting it, but kind of popped up. Also bought and sold some cards while we were there. So I don't have pictures of everything, but try to go through what we did. So first off, the National itself in Cleveland. For those of you that weren't there, Thursday was an absolute disaster. Traffic getting into the place was a nightmare. It took us like an hour and a half to get from the airport to the convention center, which was only a mile away. It took us an hour and a half to go a mile. And then once we got inside, it wasn't too bad inside, except for the food lines were insane. Just an example, we tried to order a chicken sandwich, and it took us about an hour and a half to get to the line to order it, and another 30 minutes to actually get the food delivered. So it took us 2 hours to get a sandwich. And since we were just driving in, we were not prepared. And it was a mess on Thursday. I will say Friday and Saturday were much better. I think we were better prepared. I think they had figured out the traffic issue and the parking issue. It just seemed to be a lot smoother. We also decided not to come in so early on Friday and Saturday. We slept in. We didn't get to the show till probably noon on both those days. Weren't in a big rush. We still had 6 hours on the show floor. And then again, we attended the trade nights all 3 nights and closed down the trade night all 3 nights. So we still got 10 or 11 hours of cards in on each day, which was plenty. My son was with us. He was wheeling and dealing the whole time. He did a bunch of buying and selling. My older brother Josh was with us as well. So we had a good time. Wish Thursday wouldn't have happened the way it did, but the rest of it was pretty good. I think Cleveland, in general, it's way smaller than Chicago, so it was more compact. You kind of get around to see everything. The trade night situation in the basement was fantastic. It was a little hot, but other than that, was good. There wasn't any people being turned away. They were able to fit everybody, so I thought that was great. So that was just a recap of how the weekend went. And buying and selling. So I was able to find a bunch of deals. I know some people were complaining that there weren't some deals. I was focused more on vintage, and I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I did make a bunch of upgrades to my Hall of Fame collection, so I think I probably picked up about 20 cards to either fill holes in my Hall of Fame collection or upgrade parts of my Hall of Fame collection. I'll try to pick those out as we go through. They're in these stacks. Selling at the show, I really didn't sell much at the show itself. Couple times I tried to do some trades. I mean, I had one dealer offer me like 40% of comp as a trade value on some T206s, trading for T206s. So that was crazy. I wasn't going to do that. So I think I only did maybe 1 or 2 trades at the actual show. The rest was just cash purchases. All of my selling and trading was done at the trade night. So I probably could have just gone to the trade night if I were just looking to sell and done way better than going to the show. Now, I went to buy, so I bought a ton. But anyway, that's kind of how that went. Let's get into this because I got a bunch. So first up, the cards that aren't on screen that I don't have because I either sold them or I bought and sold them at the same time. I did pick up a 1952 Bowman Willie Mays PSA 1. I paid $600 for it. I ended up trading it within like 15 minutes for a stack. See if I can find that stack. See where they are here. Yeah, I traded it for this stack here. So I traded the Bowman Mays, and I had like a 1952 Bowman Nellie Fox. It was worth like $80, and I traded it for the stack. So I had about 600 into the Mays, and I had another 50 into the Fox. So I had about 650 value. They were worth about $850, and this is what I got in return. So I got the Bob Feller here, 1956 Topps PSA 5. The Gibson, it fills a hole in my Hall of Fame collection. So this is probably worth about $500. The 1959 Topps PSA 3. Another hole from my Hall of Fame collection, the Lasorda, 1954 Topps PSA 4. another upgrade here. I had a 52 Topps Dobie, so I'm going to go down 1 year to the 51 Bowman SGC1. So did pretty good there. I turned 650, the $600 Maze, and $50 Fox into about $850 in value. So made about $250 on that deal, which was good. So I'll take that all day. It's funny, when I got the Maze, somebody kind of oversaw the deal or overheard the deal, walked right in behind the person and wanted to trade for it. So I'll take that. It was good for me to get some cards I needed for my Hall of Fame collection. And then I'll sell the feller. Now, another one I picked up was a Mike Trout Purple Refractor BGS 9.5 rookie card. So I had a Jackie Robinson 1956 Topps SGC4. I think I had like 650 on that. I had probably maybe 500 into it or 450 into it. And a guy came up and wanted that. He had the Trout. So we agreed on I would give him the Jackie and 125 cash for the Trout, which was probably, again, I only had 450 into the Jackie, I think it was. So I had about 575 into the Trout. And then I ended up selling the Trout the next night for 775. So I made a quick, basically $200 by trading off the Jackie and picking up the Trout. Had a kid come by later. 775 is basically the last comp on it, or right around the ballpark, and was able to move the Trout and get some cash. So that was good. And lastly, the one, this was a quick one. I had a gentleman walk up to me with a Kevin De Bruyne Kaboom PSA 10 from 2017 soccer card. Last PSA 10 comp was like $800 or $900. He was only asking $450 for it because I guess it just hadn't sold and he was just trying to get rid of it. So I gave him $450 cash, and within 10 minutes, I gave it to Ethan and said, hey, go walk this around, because I was sitting at the table kind of manning all the cards, and he was able to go sell it for $650 within 10 minutes. So flipped that one real quick for $200. I gave Ethan $50 for his finder's fee, and that, you know, I never really even owned that card. I just kind of made $150, and Ethan made $50 off of it. So 3 pretty good ones there, but spent, you know, almost $2,000 there. And those cards just came and went real fast. You know, kind of just trade them in and out. I'm going to save this big stack for last, but let's go into some of these other buys. Did some bulk buys. Again, some of the stuff was Hall of Fame fillers. Some of it was just deals that I thought I could take and lot up and then resell. Maybe some grading opportunities and some of this stuff as well. So this deal was $1,100, all the stack. So I'll go through these. A little bit of everything in here. This stack of raw cards here, I paid $400 for. There was, I think, 34 cards. $32 cards. So 32 cards. Again, I was at this gentleman's table going through. He had a couple things I wanted and a couple value box of slabs that I went through. I told him on this stack that I thought most of these are probably 15 to $20, and I asked him if he would do $10 a card, which would have been $320. He countered and said, I can't do $320, but I could do $400. So I was like, $12 a card. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do it for $12 a card, or $12.50, or whatever the numbers come out to. So he had them all marked between like 25 and 40, but they're probably more like 15 to 25. Bunch of Hall of Famers in here. So I've got the 61 Topps Ron Santo, 62 Topps Ernie Banks, 60 Whitey Ford, 59 Whitey Ford, 62 Koufax, the 60 Maris. I got 2 of those. 60 Musial, 60 Gibson, another 62 Koufax, 63 Gibson, 63 Musial, 60 Snyder, 61 Billy Williams, 59 Musial, 60, I always get this one confused, 64 I think it is. No, 61. Yeah, 61, I don't know why I thought it was 64. 61 Gibson, 60 Hank Aaron All-Star, 60 Maris. This is like, these All-Star cards definitely get me every time. I don't know what year this is, but Sporting News Maze, I think it's 59. 62 Banks, 62 Williams, 60 All-Star Matthews, got a couple of those. 60 All-Star Drysdale, 60 Matthews. Got a McCovey rookie there, 60 All-Star. The Fence Busters from 59, Matthews and Aaron. This is a 63, right? 63 Banks, 60 Banks, 60 Yogi, 60 Yogi, 60 Snyder. So for 400 bucks, I thought that was a good deal. I think his prices came up to over $1,000, but probably priced a little high. Probably more like a $20 average on those. So we'll take that. I'll go through and see if others are worth grading. If they're like 4 or higher, I'll probably look at grading them, given that I got them so cheap. So I was happy with that stack, raw stuff. And then along with that, some of these prices on the sticker are high, but in the bulk deal it worked out pretty well. So Ozzie Smith rookie PSA 6. Unique Aaron here, 1976 Hostess hand cut PSA 6. I ended up only paying like maybe like 40 or 50 bucks for this one. They don't come off often. Yelich PSA 10 blue rookie card. Got the 74 Wilt Chamberlain PSA 6. And then, let's see here, there's a couple bigger ones in here. Let's go through the smaller ones first. The Stengel here was currently have like a 50 Bowman Stengel was my Hall of Fame placeholder. So I upgraded this to the 1940 play ball. I think I paid like 50 bucks for that one. John Morant PSA 10 rookie, reactive orange. I just saw it and grabbed it. I think it was like 40 bucks that they gave me on that one. These were 25 a piece, the 1930 Z-Nuts. Don't see a lot of these. So I figured I could probably double my money on those potentially. So you got the Gabler, Jacobs, and Howard. All SEC authentic, but all in pretty good shape. Just probably miscut a little bit and slightly undersized. So decided to grab those for 25 each in the deal. And the last two bigger cards here, these are the ones that caught my eye to begin with. I didn't have a Bill Dickey in my Hall of Fame collection, so 1935 Diamond Stars SEC3 Bill Dickey. I think I got this for around $220-ish is what I paid. I paid around full comp, which was okay because I needed it for my collection. And then the George Davis here was another one I needed for my collection, filled a hole. Didn't have a Davis. This is the overprint. It's got like the double print on the back, so it's a little bit of a premium. But I think I ended up getting this for like maybe 120 or 130, I think is what I paid for that. So again, 1,100 bucks for that whole deal. I was pretty pleased with that, especially the raw lot. I think I can probably make some of my money back there once I go through and either sell those off individually or grade some of those and sell them off that way. They'll probably go to SGC unless I can get them together for PSAs, 60s, 50s and 60s special that's going on right now. I may get some of those in there for that. Next up. This is the first deal I did of the show. Spent 1,200 bucks for this dealer. We had the 1959 Topps Corsair. I think he gave me, it's like 13% off. This one had a $100 sticker on it, so I paid like 87 bucks for that one. I think this one had maybe a $90 sticker. So I probably paid up for this one. I thought I needed this card. I thought my Fisk was a 6, and I had it wrong. I actually have an 8. So I don't need the card, so probably wouldn't have bought this one had I realized that. Had it written down wrong on my sheet. But PSA 7 rookie there. Upgraded my McCovey. My current McCovey's a 4 MC. Upgraded that to a 6. So again, with the discount, paid probably $240-ish, somewhere in that range. The Lou Brock PSA 6. Again, this would be an upgrade for my Hall of Fame collection. My current Brock's not even a rookie card. I think it's like a 1970 Topps, just placeholder. So this would be a good upgrade there. The Aussie, another upgrade here. I think my Aussie might be a low grade, like CGC or CSG slab. So I got a PSA 7 Aussie there. Picked up a nice pucket here, 1985 Topps Tiffany pucket. So a pretty decent pucket card. I do have an 85 Topps pucket, just regular one, low grade. So picked up a better one there. And then the Fergie Jenkins rookie card, PSA 6. I think my current one's like an SGC 5 or something. So upgraded the Jenkins. So besides the Corsair and the Fisk, those are all Hall of Fame upgrades that I grabbed in that deal for 1,200 bucks, which I thought was pretty fair. They seem to be priced pretty well, so I wasn't gonna. About 13% off those. They were priced pretty much right around comps, is what I looked at. So I was pretty pleased with that. Next up, T206. Vic Willis, again, another one that's filling a gap in my Hall of Fame collection. Paid $4.50 for this one, which is probably, again, about full comp. But I needed a good Vic Willis. This one's well centered. Looks good on the back. And fills a void. So might have paid a little bit up for that one, but that's okay. Don't mind doing it on some of these cards. Actually, I had that wrong. I paid $2.50 on the Willis, I believe. I almost got to check my notes. I paid $700 for the pair. I can't remember which one I paid $2.50 for. I think I paid $2.50 for the Willis. I think I paid $4.50 for the Cochran Orbit, which is a short printed card, PSA 6. So I think I had these backwards. I think I was $2.50 for the Willis, $4.50 for the Cochran, but $700 for the pair. I know I paid $700 for the pair. I got them from the same dealer. So this is another hole filler for my collection. Kind of a unique card there, but it'll be a good placeholder until I get something else for Cochran. If I even upgrade that, it's a pretty cool card, so I might just keep that for a while. Next stack, a bit of a unique one here. So this one actually had, he had 2 George Brett PSA 7s at $2.50 sticker, and said he would give me 15% off basically. So the I think it was like 15% off. Maybe it was 10% off. I don't remember. But anyway, I actually bought both George Brett PSA 7s. So I'm gonna keep one, obviously. It was an upgrade for my Hall of Fame collection. The other one I ended up selling at trade night that night. I think I had 240 into them. I think I 220 into each one is what I figured out. I ended up selling the one for 240. So maybe it was like I had 217 into it. I think he gave me 15% off was the deal he gave me. But regardless, ended up flipping one for a couple bucks profit. So it took my actual cost on the $4.90 on the 3 cards here, because I sold off the Brett that I had there. So pretty good. I turned it real quick, made 20 bucks, lowered my cost on this lot. These are all Hall of Fame collection ads. So PSA 7 Brett is an upgrade. I think I have a low-grade Brett, maybe like a CSG slab or something. I do have a PSA 7 Winfield. He had a PSA 7.5. Do I need to do that? Probably not, but the price seemed fair. So I grabbed a slight upgrade there on the Winfield. And then the Phil Necro here, PSA 6. Again, I think I have like a low-grade, maybe like a 2 or something, PSA 2 that I picked up some lot. So got a decent Necro upgrade here to a PSA 6. So $4.90 on those 3 cards after the sale of the other George Brett that was in that deal. So I thought that was pretty good. Cheap one here. Came with my table at trade night. Kyle Schwarber rookie auto. Refractor, PSA 8 with a 10 auto. I gave the kid 20 bucks for it, which is it's probably more than what they're going for, but he's been playing well, hitting a lot of home runs, so I figure some Phillies fan will want that for, hopefully 40 bucks or so, 30 or 40 bucks. But I paid 20 for that one. Not really much there. Bigger pickup here. Another one here. I probably paid up on these. This is a rare back. The Ed Walsh, Principal DeGallis, PSA 1. Sharp looking card for a 1. Got paper loss in the back. So that's why I got a 1. The front looks great. So this is a more expensive card. Again, I don't remember what I paid for each of these. I think the sticker was $21.50, and it basically gave me 10% off of the sticker. Stickers were high, so again, I probably paid up on these, but the Walsh doesn't really ever come up because of the back. It's a rare back for the T206. The Keeler, PSA 4 with bat. Sharp looking card, so I thought that was well centered, great looking 4. So I was willing to pay up a little bit on that one. And then Joe Kelly here, American Beauty cigarettes. Thought it was a great looking authentic. It looks like it might be slightly trimmed there on the left. But again, very rare back for the T206, American Beauty. So those were a little higher than I've been paying for my T206s when I get them. Usually in between 200 and 300 bucks. So I picked up some better ones here, some rarer ones. I was really trying to, again, fill as many holes in my Hall of Fame collection as I could. These filled 3 holes. So I'm okay with that. This is the one where I tried to trade the gentleman some other T206s. I had some other T206 Hall of Famers with like a $200 or $300 sticker on them each, and there was like 3 of them, and he offered me like $400 in trade, and I was like, well, they're $900 value. You're gonna give me $400, and I was like, I'll just give you cash for the ones I want, and it was kind of crazy that you didn't offer 40% on T206s that are Hall of Famers, but that's what he did. It's his table. He can do what he wants. I still bought the card, so he ended up winning anyways. Next up here is a 1920 W519. This is a unique one. Doesn't come up very often. Didn't anticipate buying this card, and then ended up getting another one of this card in this T206 lot. That also came with some strip cards. So this was $220. I paid $275 cash plus I traded a 1952 Bowman Campanella SGC 5. I mean, it was PSA 5. It was a 5, regardless. Which I had $225 on. So the gentleman on my full sticker on the Campanella, he had a 500, I think maybe 550 sticker on this. So we agreed to $275 cash plus the $225 trade to get this one. Again, may have paid up on this, but it's a card that doesn't come up very often. I needed a good Eddie Collins for my collection. I know he has T206s as well, but I thought this was a cool card to grab for now. And it should be one easy to move whenever I eventually upgrade to the T206. So about 500 total for that one. This one was, I ended up picking Adobe later. This is going to be a new Adobe for my collection to upgrade my current 54, maybe it was. This one looked really sharp, and it is really sharp. It's obviously off center. I think it has an outside chance at a 5. I think it would be higher than that, except for there's a slight little mark up here in the back. It's almost like a tiny little dent or a crease above the 243. You can barely see it. It is only on the back, doesn't come to the front, but that'll probably be enough to drop it down. Kind of see it there. Tiny little crease in the back of the card. So I don't know how much that'll impact it. Not sure if I want to send it to SGC or if I want to send it to PSA. But I still kind of think it could be a 5 because it doesn't come through to the front of the card. So I don't know. Whatever grade it comes back, it's a great looking card. Great presentation. I paid $150 for it. I assume to get at least a 4, which kind of break even point. Either way, even if it comes back a 4, I mean, that's a great looking card for a 4. Should be able to get a premium on that one. So bought that one to grade. Again, it was going to go in my Hall of Fame collection, and I ended up picking up a 51 Bowman SGC 1 later that day and at trade night. So since it's earlier year, I'll keep the 1 and I'll grade that one to get rid of it. The next lot here, I paid. This one's missing a card. This one had a gold border Joe Tinker SGC 1 with it as well. I already have a Tinker T206 in my collection, so I sold the Tinker later that night at trade night. So I think the sticker had the Tinker had a $100 sticker on it. I got 15% off the deal, so I paid $85 for the Tinker. I sold it for like $100 that night with another card, a Joe DiMaggio card. That night it was like an $810 deal, I think it was, the DiMaggio and the Tinker. So only owned that card for about a day and then got rid of it. So these 3 were $175 when you take the Tinker out, which I already sold. Bobby Dorr, this one looked good. It is creased, but this one, he only had like $25 on this or something. I thought it was really cheap for a Bobby Dorr 49 Bowman. So I grabbed that. It was an easy buy. Jesse Haynes is beat up, but I don't have a Jesse Haynes in my collection, and they're kind of hard to find. Like I didn't see many Jesse Haynes at the show that I recognize, so I bought a cheap Gaudi. I probably paid up on this a little bit because it's going to be a low grade, maybe a 1 or 1.5. And I think I paid maybe like $60 for it. So graded, I have 75 into it. It comes back a 1. Yeah, I'm probably breaking even, but it'll be a good placeholder. It's a cool looking card. Presents well. Just you can see the kind of the creases coming down to the card. So I don't know if it'll be a 1 or 1.5, but it'll be a low grade. And I grabbed the Warren Spahn. So I think this was paid about I guess probably 15 after the discount for this, maybe 20. 60 for that, which would have been 80, and then this was probably around 95-ish after the discount for the 52 top spawn. So the dealer had a BG Plus on it. Looks sharp, centered, nice looking copy, red back. So I'll probably grade all three of these, but 175 for that deal. That was pretty good. Plus the tinker that moved immediately and helped me get that Joe DiMaggio sold. That was a bigger card. This is a trade night pickup. Just I needed a Clark Griffith. Guy came around, had a bunch of T206s. I paid right around comp for this. Last couple did between 115 and 125. I gave 115 for this, just because I needed it. Thought it was a good looking one. You know, looks better than some other ones out there. So it does have a crease there on the bottom, but picture looks great, color looks great, back looks great. So I thought that was. I gladly pay 115 for that one to get the Clark Griffith in the collection and get that one checked off. Let's see, a couple more here before we get into the big T206 buy. This one was actually with my brother. I had a PSA 5 Yastrzemski rookie that he wanted for his collection. So he traded me a Judge Bowman's Best Refractor PSA 10 rookie card. I ended up selling that in a bulk deal later that night, trade night, so I already got rid of that. We had like 140 value on the Judge, plus there was another $10 card that came with it. I sold that as well as a raw card, and then 70 value on the Soto. So we just did value for value. I think the Yastrzemski was around 220. I think is what I paid for it. So we just did it based on that. And I got the Soto rookie here, PSA 10, Topps Chrome update. He's having a great season. So was Judge. So I don't normally trade vintage for modern, but it's my brother, and we made a good deal. I got rid of the Judge, recouped some cash, so thought that was a good deal as well. Helped us both out. Next one up here, didn't really expect to buy this. This is on Saturday, towards the end of the show. I was walking around, and Eddie from Cool 2 Cards is on Facebook. Eddie Delat. If you guys are on the Facebook groups, you'll see him posting all the time. I've done deals with him on Facebook before. He had this Clemente there, and I wasn't looking for another Clemente rookie. I already have a 2, but this one looked just really good to me for a 3.5. It is off center, but most of them are off center. I just thought it looked really clean, sharp picture. I mean, the card is sharp, off center obviously. The back looks good. He had $2,000 on it. I offered him $1,800. I was almost out of cash at that point because I'd been buying so much. But I asked him if he'd take $1,800 Zell. He said, he counted with 19. I said, I think I really want to be at 18. The last two were like 7, or the last 3 I think were 17, 18, and 2. Not as nice as this. And he took $1,800 Zell. So appreciate that deal. This will be a good upgrade for me. So I'll be getting rid of my SGC 2 Clemente now and upgrading with a 3.5. So $1,800 on that one. I thought was a pretty fair deal. I thought $2,000 on it was actually a fair deal as well. So happy to get that deal. Next deal here. Got the 1949 Leaf Ted Williams BVG 1.5. I paid $700 for this. It was a $900 sticker. Bought it with another card here. I'll show you in a second. This would be better than a 1.5, but it's got tape on it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. The tape is still on there. It is yellowing, so I don't know if I can get the tape off. But I don't like BBG slabs as it is. It does have some bleed through as well, which is standard for these cards. I think I'll probably crack it out of the BBG if it doesn't sell soon. I've got it listed on eBay already if you guys are interested in it. It is a nice looking 1.5 for what it is. It does have a crease in the corner, but if it weren't for the tape, it's probably a 2.5 or a 3, I'm going to guess, with most other companies. Again, this has some of the bleed through. That happens. Back looks pretty good. Coloring looks good. Just has that tape up top, which is what hammered it. You can see here. Subgrades 5.5, 1.5, 6, and surface 1. So the tape would come off, and that surface would go up to a 2. I don't know how Beckett does, if they do a half grade or a full grade above, but could go up to a 2.5 based on Beckett standards. So we'll see on this one. If it sells, obviously that'll be great. I think I've got it listed for maybe $1,000 on eBay, which is I think where the last one sold. The last 1.5 sold I think for $1,000 or $900. Doesn't sell, I'll crack it out, I think, and maybe see if I can get that tape off. But that was a good buy for 700 bucks. I didn't expect the guy to come down that quick. I just asked him, he had 900. I pulled this other card with it as well. So what'd you do on the pair? And he said he would do 700 on the TED and 450 on the Hubble. So I grabbed it. The Hubble was the card I really needed. I've been looking for a nice Hubble for my collection. Didn't have one in my Hall of Fame collection. This is a bit of a unique one. 1933 Sport Kings SEC3. Again, another card that doesn't really come up that often. Looks sharp for a 3. Looks good. Good looking 3. Got the Gaudy back here. Back looks great on it. It's got some staining or something here, which is probably why it got to 3. It is a little beat up, but you know, it could be a 4 potentially without the staining issue. So got that for 450, which I think I tried to get them down to 4 based on what I saw for sales, but just another card you don't really see that often. So sometimes you got to pay up a little bit for those, and I'll hang on to this one for a while. And I'm sure I'll have no problem selling that for a profit whenever the time comes. So I was happy to get that one for 450. Last deal here before the big one. I did a trade for, I had a 2018 Aaron Judge, one of like the Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary or something, PSA 10. It was a purple, low pop. I think I had 250 on a sticker. It's one I had bought on eBay before Judge went crazy. It was when he was in a slump. So I got a great deal on it. I think I only paid like 100 and some bucks for it. Had 250 on it, but it had somebody come to the table wanting to look at the trade. So I had the Judge, and I gave them, forget what else I gave them. I gave them another like $50 card maybe. Well, I gave them a City to City Ron Acuna, one that just came back from my recent grading reveal. So it was a PSA 10, Pop 1, City to City Acuna from 2024 Topps Series 2. So I had like a $40 sticker on that. Then like another $15 card. And in return, I got these two plus another cheap card. Another like $15, $20 card. So the Volpe here, gold, numbered to 50, PSA 10, auto rookie card from the Brooklyn collection. Pretty cool card. And then also the red Verdugo here out of 5, number 3 out of 5, PSA 9, 2022 Bowman. So that was probably a pretty even trade, but just moved. I mean, I was into the Judge cheap, so value into these. I was into the Acuna cheap too. I broke it open in a box and paid grading fees, so probably only into these for like 150 bucks. And this is what I got out of it. So happy to do that. Kid really wanted the Judge, so I'll try to move those. Should be able to move those pretty quick. So that was all the trade nights, most of the deals at the show. And then on Saturday, I came back for a big one. So if you guys were at the show, one of the booths had a big T206 collection for sale. They had a sticker to 12 grand with T206s. And I walked by and I looked at it. I just kind of glanced at it, talked to the gentleman there. I think it was like booth 344. The guy had a big balloon, big gold balloons up. He had us all in a case. He wanted to sell us a lot. So I walked by it. 12 grand seemed kind of high to me based on the numbers. But I looked at it, talked to him. He told me where, he was into it and kind of said he would want to get around 10 grand for the T206 lot. But he had told me there was some other stuff that came with it when he bought it, for what he paid. He said he felt like if he could break even on the T206s, he could make his money on the strip cards that came with it. So that was on Friday. Saturday morning, I woke up and I'm like, I think I want to go buy that lot and make an offer. So I had to get to my bank before it closed. Luckily, we found a bank that was close to our hotel. I was able to go get the money out, get the cash out before they closed. So I went and pulled 10 grand out of the bank and decided I was going to go make an offer on this deal if it was still there. And it was still there. So I walked up. I said, hey, I'm intrigued. I'm truly interested in this, but I want to look through it and talk to you about it. So I pulled all the T206s out. There's like 216 T206 cards, some Hall of Famers, some rare backs, but a lot of just basic cards. And it was very organized. So you can see on these, the person he bought it from had been very organized with their set. They were all organized by number. They had a printout of all the cards listed. They had marked off which cards they had. They had, even on the slabs, they're marking off kind of the rarer cards, and the Hall of Famers are marked on the cases. So very organized, which I like. It wasn't a big mess. It was all organized by number in the set. I went through it. I found probably like maybe 15 to 20 rarebacks, polar bears, old mills, a couple sovereigns. So that was, that intrigued me a little bit. There was probably another 9 or 10 Hall of Famers in the T206 lot. So I assume with the rarebacks and the Hall of Famers, you probably get about $100 per card for those. Some less because they were kind of beat up. That's just kind of where my head was. And the rest of the T206s, there were some ones that were in good shape. And a couple of them, as you're going to see, even had the eBay authentication sticker on the back of the top loader. So I knew that whoever bought those paid more than $300 for them when they bought them raw. So, that was good. I went through all those. Thought that was a pretty fair deal. Looked pretty good. And then I asked him about the strip cards. I said, "What are you going to do with those? Because if I do this, I want the whole thing." I mean, essentially what I told him is, I know you're into this for a certain number that you told me. I'm happy to have you make a few bucks. You just got to let me know what a few bucks is. And he said 10 grand was his number. He said that's what he'd want for everything. Threw in the case, all that stuff, $30 case, great. But he said 10 grand. So I said, well, let me see the strip cards and see what's there, and I'll make you an offer. So I went through the strip cards. There's a Mathewson in there, a low-grade Mathewson, probably a couple $100 card. Some other, there's the Eddie Collins I showed you guys already. There's one in there as well as an authentic. A couple other Hall of Famers in the strip cards. A rare General Baking card in there. It's worth probably a couple $100. So at that point, I was convinced I was going to make this deal. So he was sitting there talking to me. I said, listen, I'll give you $9,800 cash right now. And he took it. Said, yep, great. I'll do it. He paid 9 grand for it, I think earlier in the show. He made a quick $800, and I gave myself a project. Now, that night at trade night, I did sell 20 of the cards already for $790. So my cost into it was down to 9 grand already, just from selling 20 of them. I probably sold those cards a little cheaper than I should have. Looking back on it, I probably could have got a little more, but it's okay. I got plenty of stuff here to sell. So we'll just run through these real fast. But there's probably still 250 cards here or so left out of the collection. So some W516s. These are pretty valuable if they're in good shape. So you grade these, you get 60, 70, $80 for them, depending on condition. So some duplicates here. Just Barnes, Doyle, Artie Fletcher, Dick Rudolph. These are all in pretty good shape. Benny Koff. These are just commons. No Hall of Famers here. Cooper, Peckinpah. There's the Mathewson. Again, beat up. It'll get authentic. But it's probably, 125, 150 in that condition when I get it graded. And I will get it slabbed up. There's the Eddie Collins. It's not the same one I have, but, another Eddie Collins there in that condition, even though it's going to be authentic because it's min size. Probably a $200 card, I'm going to guess. I don't know for sure. I didn't look it up yet. But looks good, just short. You can see here that's one of the ones with the eBay authentication. So the person that bought this collection or was making this collection paid over $300 for that one, or else it wouldn't have went the eBay authentication. So could be more than I think on that one. So I'll look at that. Frank Fritsch, there's a Hall of Famer there. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. Okay, Gleason, Rube Marquard, another Hall of Famer there. I asked him where the Ruth was. What happened to the Ruth? And it was not in the collection. I'm guessing this is probably a placeholder. The gentleman never completed it and got the Ruth, unfortunately. So the Ruth was not in there. Zach Wheat, another Hall of Famer there. Let's see here. And this is a General Baking one. This is a rare card. I don't think there's any for sale. The last few that have come up is sold anywhere from like $200 to $500, I think it is. Don't quote me on that. You can go check it out. It's got the Brunner's Buttercrust back here. But very rare card. A couple $100 card, I would say, minimum. So this stack alone's, I don't know, it's probably over $1,000. And this was kind of like the throw-in part of the deal. Could be more than that. I don't know. We'll see. I got to go through and do the work now to get the money back and see what I'm going to keep. And here's the T206s. So I think the person that did this had them marked, like, I think the black is basically the basics, the ones that aren't as expensive, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but that he does have stickers identifying everything. I'm not familiar with all the people in this set. I mean, I know the Hall of Famers, but I know there's some rare cards in here. I'm just not sure which ones they are. I got to go through and do some research, and this will force me to learn more about the T206 set outside of the Hall of Famers. But like, he's got this gold stickers on these ones, so I'm assuming that these golds are going to be probably a little more valuable than the blacks, would be my assumption. I don't know that for sure. I got to look it up. But I'm going to go through and do the research, and now I've got some, whenever I have time, which I don't know when that'll be, do the research to go through and do that. Joe Birmingham, it's cool. It's a cool photo there. The Bresnahan is in here. It's graded though, so this one is the only graded card in a lot was the Bresnahan SC15. That's a couple $100 card in that grade as well. It's a sharp looking 1.5. Just got writing on the back. That could be something to cross over to PSA potentially. So I think they may give that a better grade. Not 100% sure, but I may give that a shot. We'll see. But yeah, the Bresnahan's there. And then George Brown. See what else here. Birch, Byrne, Kamnitz. So these are all just a lot of commons. There's Hal Chase. It's a more valuable one there. Oop, hit the camera. Josh Clark's got a gold on it. There's Fred Clark, Hall of Famer there. Clymer. Again, some of these have the rare backs. Doc Crandall. Gavi Kravith has got a gold sticker on it as well. It's probably a more difficult one. Birdie Cree. George Davis. So I bought the George Davis Authentic, and then I ended up buying this, and there's George Davis in it. So I didn't really need to buy that Authentic. I could just, if I knew I was going to do this on Friday, I would have just waited, taken this George Davis, graded it, and that would have been my placeholder in my collection. This is probably a 1. But we'll see what I'm going to do there. I may still upgrade it. Wild Bill Donovan. Another Wild Bill Donovan. See if any of these are the ones, any of these are rare backs or anything. Piedmonts. Some of their, there's a Sovereign right there. So the Dode Chris Sovereign back. So again, I don't know exactly what that's worth, but I know it's a rare back. Rarer than the Piedmont. There's a Polar Bear back there. Doc Crandall, which looks pretty good. Creased up, but color's good. There's a 350 Subject Sweet Capril. It's one of the shorter ones there. Josh Clark. Another Polar Bear back here. Bill Clancy. Piedmonts. And there's a Piedmont 150 variation too. There's another Sweet Capril 350. 350 to 460 Sweet Capril is another short print version of that. So, I don't know, pretty cool stuff. See what other ones I got here. There's another Polar Bear, George Bell, Polar Bear back. Another Polar Bear, Fred Beck. Piedmont 150s, 350s. And I know 350 Factory 25 is one of the short prints in here as well, so I have to go through and see if any of those are. That one's got great coloring on the back. Any more 350 25s. But I'll go through and identify all those and get it organized. Next stack here. Red Doohan, Doherty, Joe Doyle. There's probably a couple here in the grade 4 or 5, I'm guessing. And those will help me get my money back when I grade them. Ewing, Ferguson, Elmer Flick. There's a Hall of Famer there, and that one's in good shape. That one could be a decent grade on the Flick. And that's got the eBay authentication as well, which I'm not surprised by. That's a sharp looking card. Probably a 4. So, see how that one does. And that might even be a Hall of Fame filler for me. I don't know if I have a Flick. Gandil. Gibson. Gilbert. And there's a beat up Peaches Graham. Guess that's probably, he's got a gold sticker on it. One of us a more difficult one to get. Bob Hall. Buck Herzog. Fielder Jones. A couple Fielder Joneses there. So this gentleman that sold this had put some work into completing this set. Apparently it was his grandfather's cards, and he started working on completing it, and it kind of became too much, and he decided to sell it off, what he had done so far. And now it's in my hands. I have no interest in completing this set. Just be too much work for me. Harry Hinchman's a polar bear back there. So I'll probably grade about half of these. The ones that I think are going to be like a 2 or higher, I'll probably grade. Ones lower than that, I'll probably just sell them as is. The rare backs I'll probably grade as well. There's a Chick Gandil, rare back, polar bear. There's the Flick, another polar bear back here. Blue Fiend. Another polar bear, Dick Egan. The card looks pretty decent as well. It'll be a fun project. I wish I had more time to deal with it because these are probably sitting in a box for a while. Work has been nuts. Made an acquisition at work. Been very tied up. Have not had much time to deal with this stuff. Took a vacation for the National, but back to work on Monday, and I'm not going to have a lot of time to deal with this stuff. Leech. So a whole bunch of them here. If any of you guys are looking to build this set, please feel free to reach out. I'm going to try to maximize my value because I got so much into it. I got to try to maximize value because I'm not looking to do any big bulk deals or anything like that, but I can maybe help. The Mark card here is another eBay authentication, so it's one you probably paid 300 plus for. It looks like about a 3, probably a 3 is what it looks like to me. So another good looking card there. Looking forward to getting that one graded. This looks sharp too, the Doc Marshall, good coloring. So a bunch of these will be grading candidates. So I'll probably send these into SGC. We can get them back quick and start to recoup some of the funds from the purchase. Let's see, the McGann is a polar bear back there. Piedmont's, that's the Rube. Not as many rare backs here. The lefty Layfield is a polar bear back. Another polar bear on the Arlie Latham. That's a pretty good looking card. Could be decent graded. Got a couple more here. Probably another 100 or so to go through. Fred Merkle. Another gold sticker here. Again, I think that probably means there's a rarer card. Mike Mitchell, another gold sticker there. It's a pretty cool picture. Hope we got to learn about some of these guys as I'm going through this. I just don't know everything about the T206 set. It's a big set. A lot of lesser known players. Barney Peltier there's another gold sticker. Again, I'm going to check these all, but I'm guessing some of those are probably more valuable. Eddie Phelps here looks like it's got a crease, but pretty cool looking card there. Like the pictures. I've owned a bunch of these, but I've certainly not ever owned this many of these. There's another polar bear. The Barney Peltier's a polar bear. Another 350, 460s. I think Factory 25 is one of the big ones some people look for. That's Factory 30. I didn't look through this on all of them, but Factory 30. This is 350 Factory 42. I'm not sure if that one's a good one or not. 30. Go through and check these out. Polar bear back, Clyde Milan there. Car looks pretty good. Got some writing in the back of that one. All right, one more stack. This is a longer video, but picked up a lot of cool stuff. I bought a big collection of the National last year too, of postcards. I've moved pretty much all that stuff that I bought last year. Took me a while to move it, but it's all pretty much gone. So now I got another project to deal with coming out of the National. All right, Putnam, rollback, and again, there's another gold sticker. Charlie Rose, another gold sticker there. So I'm guessing those are probably more valuable. Germany Schaefer, Slay, Bosch Schmidt, Jim Scott. The ones I sold were all probably the poor, as Oscar Sandage, another gold one. Ones I sold a trade night, most of them were in poor condition. Another pre-war collector was in the Facebook groups, but I think he was looking for some of the more valuable stuff. So again, I probably could have got more out of it had I done it on my own, but again, just got some cash back pretty quick here. Hunky Shaw, polar bear back there. That's the only rare backs there as far as outside of a Sweet Capital or Piedmont. And the last little stack here. I'm going to get this in just under an hour. It's probably take forever to upload. Seinfeld, Stevens, Stovall, another Stovall, Gabby Street, Ed Summers, Lee Tannehill, Fred Tenney's another gold sticker there. Heine Wagner, got both variations there. Jack Warhop, I've actually owned this card in like a 4.5 and I sold that. So that one looks pretty good too. Maybe not a 4.5, but pretty good centering. Doc White, another gold sticker. There's another Vic Willis, two Vic Willises. So I bought the Vic Willises at the show, earlier in the show. Again, had I known I was going to do this, I probably wouldn't have bought the Vic Willis. I probably just taken one of these and used it as a placeholder, but wasn't planning on it. So now I got a couple of Vic Willises to deal with. And a bunch of Hook Wilts here at the end. See any more rarebacks in here. Another 350 to 460. Oh, there's a 354 Factory 25 Piedmont. Maybe that's the variation. Again, I've got some stuff to learn on this. A couple of polar bear backs there. So both the Vic Willis Hall of Famers are polar bear backs as well. So this could be pretty good, actually. Maybe sneaky on those two. Check those out. Sweet Cap Rolls, Piedmonts. That's it. Pretty unique stuff there. It's happy I came across it. Happy I pulled the trigger on it. I know it's gonna be a lot of work. Probably take me a while to get through the stuff and organize it and grade it, but hopefully I can recoup the $9 grand I have left in it. Probably gonna cost me a couple grand to grade the cards I want to grade, and then it'll take me months to sell everything. But I'm looking forward to the project and learning about some of these guys, and maybe it'll inspire me down the road to build a set. I don't think so, but we'll see. So that's it. If you guys like the videos, give us a follow, give us a like. Meant for collectors on the platforms. If you see any of those cards you're interested in, especially the ones that aren't going into my Hall of Fame collection, feel free to reach out. I'll be getting them all on eBay eventually. It's going to take me some time. I got to get them all reconciled on my inventory system first. That's going to take some time. I'm going to be traveling a ton for work the next month, so who knows how long it'll take, but feel free to reach out before that if you guys see anything there you need. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.